Hi there, today we're going to look at an easy way to trim your box hedge. I have an ornamental box hedge about 18 inches or 40 centimetres high that you can see here around my cottage garden. And it's gone a little bit bushy and I'm going to tidy it up using this hedge clippers and garden shears. So garden shears is basically a garden scissors with a really long blade. I absolutely love mine, find it very useful. And in this video, I'm going to compare using these traditional tools with also a handheld battery operated Bosch gadget that'll come up here in a minute. With the tradition, here's the Bosch one here now. So as you can see, I made the mistake of not recording the audio. So I apologize for some of the messiness of this video, but you can't untrim a hedge for me to re-record it, so I hope you'll have patience. I like this little Bosch handheld tool. It comes with this attachment for doing hedges, and it also comes with one for clipping grass. It's handy, it's nice and small, and I'll do a separate review of that in another video some other time. So for now, you will see me use it on the hedge and also the traditional tools of the clippers and shears. If you're buying it clippers, my advice is to look at the weight of them because they can be very heavy in your hands after a while. So keep an eye on that when you're buying them. Try not to go too heavy. This is my little pièce de resistance. I use any kind of solid gadget. I have stacked pots here that you stack up to the height that you want the hedge at. And this I use for keeping a line straight. So I'll rest my hedge clippers on top of these pots as I go along. You'll see me doing it now in a second. And in that way, I keep the top line of my hedge flat and straight the whole way across. And it also helps with taking the weight off your arms if you have a heavy hedge clippers. Um, the alternative version is to use a line. So you can use something like string and put it across on a line, make sure the line is level. I don't find that as useful. I'd much prefer to use my uh, my pots. As you can see, I've got the top part of it level there now, and now I'm going to do the edges of it. So doing the edges of it I do by eye. It's a little bit trickier, but it's not as hard as keeping the top line level, I find. So you just go along your whole hedge. I'm reminding everyone here to watch the level of the angle of the clippers when you're using them, because to keep a vertical angle on it means you actually are keeping the handles angled towards you to keep the blades flat or to keep them perpendicular to the ground. Otherwise, you end up with a wavy line of a hedge. So hi again. So I've the first half of the hedge done now, as you've seen. I'm quite happy with that, using my manual one. It doesn't take that long. So now I'm going to use my little Isio to see, is it any handier than doing it manually for me. So this is a little Bosch tool. I got it on Amazon. I'll put the link down below. It has two attachments. My one has two attachments. I think you can buy them with a variety of attachments. My one has this one and a little grass clipper attachment. And I find it, the grass clipper attachment, much handier than this one. But let's see how I get on with this job now. Okay. So as you can see there, it does the job, but I actually don't think it's that quicker, and I definitely don't think it's as precise, because I think you're moving the little small branchlets around when you're brushing this over the leaves, and it is kind of making it harder to keep a precise or a straight, clean cut. So I think it's okay for doing shapes that are kind of more organic looking, but probably not for doing something like the box hedge. So that's one way to find out. You can see probably there that some parts of my hedge have white fluffy bits coming off it. That's a new phenomenon. It's a powdery mildew. I believe that it's not the box blight, and that they'll be fine, but you can see actually there's more of it down there where there's less wind getting to it, and we've had a spell that hasn't been particularly windy, so hopefully I will get that sorted. But there was no point in trying to do anything if I was going to go trimming the hedge, so I'm going to get that done now. So look, I'll finish this off. I think I'm actually going to switch back to my hedge clippers, and I'll show you an after photo. Okay, so I've finished now. You can see that's the second half of the hedge. I've the whole lot of it done now. In the end, I did revert to the hedge clippers instead of the little battery operated Bosch gadget. I can see that that has benefits. It does work. It's just slower, I think, for getting a clean line. And look, I won't get a job in Kew Gardens with my lovely straight line, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. So just a couple of other things on it. After you've done that, you should give it a really good watering. Even better, give it some specific, sorry for the tractor, give it some specific box hedge food. There's a Buxus food that you can buy in the garden centre. Give it a good feed of that, just to help it recover from its trauma of a haircut. And the time of year to do this, okay, so the biggest issue with box hedges is that it can get a thing called box blight, which there's no coming back from if you're unfortunate enough to get it. And it does seem to be a bit random about how this arrives in your garden, so just fingers crossed I don't get it, I suppose. But one of the ways they think that you can avoid getting it is by cutting your hedge less often. So it's down to once a year they're recommending now, in around July. I do it twice a year. I do it in now, which is the beginning of May, and I'll do it again at the end of September, because it's too messy for me otherwise. So I'm taking the risk that I could get this box blight. But look, the truth is you could get box blight somehow anyway, so I'm going to not be looking out of the hedge, and this is right outside my living room windows, so I have to have some kind of manners on it, because if it wasn't too bad when I started, but if I left that till July it'd be a complete mess. So that's my theory on it. So May and September for me, but the people who know best say July, so you can make your own decision. Don't forget the watering and the feeding, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.